Alright battlers, welcome back to a brand new Rose Cup video. Today we're taking a look at PoketMidget777's 4-0 undefeated run through his local Rose Cup. PoketMidget is a young player, a PvP prodigy some might say. He belongs in the same conversation as trainers like Baduki that are making big waves and they are making big plays. This is the next wave of trainers that you need to watch out for in the PvP community. PoketMidget does have an affinity for spice picks, and the first thing you probably notice about his team here is that he is running double fairy types. The mystery though is what move is Grand Bull running? Everybody wants to know, is it Charm or is it Snarl? I'm going to go left to right here and describe each member of PoketMidget's team. For starters, let's answer that Grand Bull question right off the bat. This is a Snarl Grand Bull with close combat and crunch. Next, we have Sunny CASTFORM with Ember, Weather Ball, and Solar Beam. Gliscor is in the back with Wing Attack, Night Slash, and Earthquake. I know there's been a lot of debate about Wing Attack and Fury Cutter, but I personally prefer Wing Attack because it gives you more coverage against the fighting types. In the middle, you have Probopass with Rock Throw, Rock Slide, and Magnet Bomb. Then you have Wigglytuff with Charm, Play Rough, and Ice Beam. And then on the far right side, you have Machamp with Counter, Rock Slide, and Cross Chop. Overall, this is a very interesting team. I'm sure PoketMidget's opponents had a hard time deciding what to bring against this squad. One of my favorite aspects of PoketMidget's play in this tournament is his total control of switch priority. This trainer does not like to lose switch advantage, and in the Rose Cup with so many hard counters, it is extremely important. You need to learn your matchups, and watching this video here really helps. So definitely stay until the end, and if you enjoyed this footage, leave me a like, comment down below what you thought, and then subscribe to see more Rose Cup videos. Pocket's first round opponent is BB44. BB is running Medicham, Steelix, Skarmory, Gliscor, Drifblim, and Wigglytuff. A couple of things about this team stand out to me. The first is that he is running double Steel. You do have Steelix and Skarmory there. The question with Steelix becomes, is it running Thunderfang as an anti-flyer type, or is it running Dragon Tail to get to those charge moves? We also noticed that Drifblim is the only ghost type on this squad. I'm seeing a lot of Haunter and Sableye, so seeing a Drifblim here is a bit surprising to me, as it does help to wall the fighters, but with so many Machamps and Medicham running around with the Rock Slides and the Ice Punches, I think its playability is a little bit limited. Let's get into these games. Going right into game one, Pocket is going to lead his Wigglytuff into his opponent's Steelix. At first glance, this is probably not a great matchup for Wigglytuff because it is Fairy versus Steel. However, I do want to point out that Wigglytuff is going to resist these Dragon Tails and Crunches, and the Charm damage is going to add up. It is such a high damage attack that it can put in work against Steelix. As you see there, the Ice Beam lands on Steelix, and Steelix being part ground is going to get hurt by that pretty badly. Pocket does make a swap here into his Sunny CASTFORM to get some extra energy together on that Steelix, and then in comes his opponent's Wigglytuff. So what I like about CASTFORM is that it is very bulky. It is probably the bulkiest fire type that you can run in the Rose Cup. As you know, I'm sure from your practice, Charizard is going to get one-shotted by Rock Slide and by a lot of other attacks, but Sunny CASTFORM can actually tank a Rock Slide and do okay. Here comes an Ice Beam from the Wiggles, and that is still not going to be enough to bring down Sunny CASTFORM. So in comes the Medicham, and Sunny CASTFORM is almost up to another Weather Ball. So insane, but this Power Punch is going to finally put an end to it. Pocket does have Wigglytuff here, and his opponent decides to stay in with Medicham, so I'm assuming an Ice Punch is coming, but it's just a Power Up Punch. That attack is going to continue to get boosted, but there is just not enough time for Medicham. The Charms are going to wear it down so quickly. Pocket actually is not going to shield there and take down the Medicham to win game one. Going into game two, we see Wiggles again in the lead versus Gliscor. This Gliscor is running Fury Cutter, as you can see by how quickly it's moving. Gliscor is a very interesting Pokemon, and I have actually not seen it run Sand Tomb, so this is a very interesting choice by his opponent here. The normal set you see is Night Slash and Earthquake. After a couple of Sand Tombs, PoketMidget does make the swap here into Sunny CASTFORM again, and out comes Wigglytuff. So Pocket made a good decision here bringing his Sunny CASTFORM because he noticed that his opponent does not have a hard counter. Something like a Mud Slapper or a Rock Thrower would be good against Sunny CASTFORM, but even your primary Rock Thrower Probopass isn't going to like getting hit by Weather Balls. So Sunny CASTFORM is an interesting Pokemon that hasn't gotten a lot of play recently, but I do think it has a lot of viability, and Pocket is showing you that right here. In comes this Steelix, and he's going to throw that Weather Ball. but he's already up to another Weather Ball. So Ember is not a particularly fast energy generating move, but he is making great work of it here. And with his shields down, he is going to fire off the Ice Beam here from Wigglytuff, get a few more charms in, and then he's going to actually allow this attack through, just being super safe, trying to play this match to the end, saving his shield. Going to take down the Steelix to win game 2. In comes the game 3, and in comes the Drifblim. So as we mentioned, Drifblim, its playability in my opinion is kind of limited, and here you notice, trainers, this Medicham is running Psycho Cut, so he does fire off this Crunch from his Grand Bull. Medicham being part Psychic is not going to like Crunch that much, but it is also part Fighting. So that Medicham is going to boost itself up with the Power Up Punch. Predicting another Power Up Punch here. He does not shield, but it is an Ice Punch. Grand Bull with Snarl is so fast though, trainers. He's able to get to another Crunch here, putting a lot of pressure on Medicham, and he does have both of his shields still. So he's going to let Grand Bull go here, which I think is the right move. And what I wanted to point out about this setup is that he was running double Fairies. He's got Wiggles and Grand Bull on his team of 3, and that is something that you're going to see commonly in this video. Drifblim is going to come back in here and fire off a charge move. He does still have his Probopass, but Pocket is wary of getting switch locked. He does check out his tray there for a second and then go into Probopass to farm up the remainder of the Drifblim. In comes Wigglytuff, and I think Pocket has this game wrapped up. He's going to drop a couple of Magnet Bombs here on the Wiggles. This is a Rock Throw Probopass, so it's not going to win the mirror match against Probopass, which is a very important thing you want to keep in mind. You're going to win against the flying types harder than you would normally, but the mirror match is going to be tough. Going to round 2, Pocket's opponent is PG Disrupt. PG is running Haunter, Rhydon, Machamp, Blaziken, Probopass, and Alola Marowak. The first thing that sticks out about this team is the double fighters in the middle. Machamp and Blaziken are both great fighting types, but they are very glassy. Of course, in a perfect world, you want to run Blaziken with Stone Edge because you're going to hit those flying types for super effective, but that is a very, very limited, rare move, and I highly doubt that this trainer has Stone Edge on his Blaziken. So when planning for this team, Pocket Midget has a lot of opportunities here. The Rhydon is an interesting component as well because it is a rock type with Surf, so there might be a little limited play for the Sunny Castform and the Probopass due to the Rhydon. And then he has a very aggressive Ghost type in Haunter and a backup Ghost / anti-fighter with his Alola Marowak in the back. Going into game 1 against PG, Pocket is going to lead his Wigglytuff again, but he leads into Probopass. This is another Rock Throw Probopass. He comes in here with Grand Bull, and this is one of my favorite uses for Grand Bull in the Rose Cup. You're going to burst through these walls with that close combat. So he's going to overcharge a few Snarls here, attempting to go up for a double close combat. He fires off one, and then he has a second one. So when Grand Bull's defense drops due to close combat, you want to get it off the battlefield as quickly as possible. But as you can see there, he was very effective at burning both of his opponent's shields in one fell swoop. Very, very good play with Grand Bull there. He does take the Rock Slide with the Gliscor, but all he needs is the Earthquake. His opponent makes a beautiful switch though into Blaziken, but Pocket is not fooled. He does switch in his Wigglytuff here and take the Blaze Kick. That did a tremendous amount of damage. Actually, I'm very surprised how much damage that did from the Blaziken. Its attack stat is just so high, you have to be wary of that. Here comes the Gliscor against the Probopass, and this match comes down to what the third Pokemon is, and it will be Alolan Marowak. So he is going to go here for the Night Slash. Maybe an opportunity there to go up for the Earthquake, but no, there wasn't. Actually, I was wrong because that Fire Spin takes out the Gliscor. Pocket is going to drop the first game of the tournament. He does win the lead this time with Wiggles into Machamp. In comes that Alolan Marowak, and he does bring in his Gliscor to respond. Expecting Shadow Ball here, he does shield, and it will be the Shadow Ball. He is working up a lot of energy, trying to bluff the Earthquake, and that is one of the main keys about playing Gliscor. You have to win the bluff. If you don't take your opponent's shield, your win percentage goes down by a lot. His opponent actually does not shield, and Pocket's able to wing attack down the Alola Marowak, which is huge. He's got a ton of energy, and he's going to go straight for the Earthquake here. So if he times this correctly, I think he can get to double Earthquake against this Probopass because it is Rock Throw. He's almost able to get there, but he goes for the Night Slash, hoping to buff out that last shield, and Gliscor goes down. So he did not get the shield, which is not a great position for him, but he does bring in his Machamp here, and then swap into his Wiggles to take on this Machamp. So Again, Pocket definitely controlling switch priority. He does a wonderful job of that. He's going to go for the play rough here against the Probopass, doing a little bit of chip damage. Now, your only concern here is how much energy this Probo has when your Machamp comes back in, but its life is so low that a couple of counters are going to end this game pretty quickly. So he does counter it down. His opponent loses with a shield. Game 3, we see Gliscor facing off against Alolan Marowak. So again, trainers, you definitely want to get the bluff, but in comes the Probopass, and he goes right into Machamp, not wasting any time. He could have dropped that Earthquake with the Gliscor to try to get the shield, but he knows his hard counters, so he brings in his Machamp, and he goes straight up for the farm down. What I've noticed about Rose Cup battlers is that a lot of time you have one Pokemon for one specific role, and you need to save it for that role. In Timeless and Fusion, you could kind of spread yourself around, fire off a charge move here, and then swap, do this and do that. But in the Rose Cup, you have very specific roles for your Pokemon. In comes Wiggles, and then in comes Alolan Marowak. The shields are down, so he's going to allow this charge move to hit this Wigglytuff, which will be Bone Club. Does a lot of damage, surprisingly. He's going to fire off the Night Slash here from his Gliscor to do super effective damage to the Marowak, and then he's going to shield. He wants to save all of that energy to unleash it on the Pokemon in the back, and he's actually able to wing attack down, so he does have the shield, and here comes Haunter. Here comes a Night Slash from the Gliscor, and that is super effective. GG's. Pocket's next opponent is Silent Raven 3891. Silent Raven is running a very interesting team. He does have Gligar, Steelix, Machamp, Charizard, Wigglytuff, and Golbat. So the first thing that stands out, obviously, trainers, is the triple flyer. You've got Gligar, you've got Charizard, and Golbat. I love Charizard in this cup. I think it's a great play, but what a lot of trainers haven't talked about yet is Golbat. Golbat was actually run by For the Battles at the Portland Rose Cup, and she does a wonderful job breaking down how to use Golbat. In her video, I will leave a link to her tournament breakdown in the description down below. But what I want to point out about Golbat is that it is bulky enough to tank a Rock Slide, and the Poison Fang spam is real. You can take down fighting types really quickly, and that Shadow Ball can hit things like Haunter, Alolan Marowak, and Sableye for super effective damage. You do have Gligar there with what I assume is going to be Wing Attack. It does have access to Dig, which is an inferior move to Earthquake. I learned that from my comments a few days ago when I did a feature video, and a commenter let me know that it is just an inferior move in terms of energy and damage, but it does offer you some coverage. You do see Steelix again and Machamp, and the Charmer is Wiggles. Let's get into these games. Going into game 1, we see a Gliscor lead into Gligar. So this is an interesting matchup. The Gly boys are going at it. That Gligar is actually going to get to its charge move first, and then here comes a Night Slash from the Gliscor. So I honestly haven't studied this matchup, trainers, but as you can tell, Gligar's superior bulk is doing work against that Gliscor. Pocket Midget has to swap here into Sunny CASTFORM to catch that Night Slash, and in comes Machamp. This is an interesting thing too, trainers, because you don't want to get hit by Rock Slide, but this Weather Ball is going to do a ton of damage, and Pocket Midget is going to invest in his Sunny CASTFORM here. He does not want to lose switch advantage, so he does fire off another Weather Ball after shielding his Sunny CASTFORM, and then this Machamp is really weak, and guess what, trainers? Pocket gives his Sunny CASTFORM a second shield. He really wants to win swap advantage, and it's so important in this game. In comes Wigglytuff, and he does bring in his own Wiggles. So this is a close match, and it really is still anybody's game. He does swap here into Gliscor to fire off the Night Slash, hoping to get this Wigglytuff off the battlefield, but he does shield it. In comes Gligar, and this attack is going to do a ton of damage to the Gliscor, bringing it down. In comes Wigglytuff, and he's actually able to almost barely charm down the Gligar. Here comes an attack, and he survives it. This all comes down to CMP, trainers. Will his Wiggle get charge move priority? And it does. Play rough drops his opposing Wiggles. In game 2 against Silent Raven, Pocket shows how important it is to win the switched in matchup. As you see there, he loses the lead to Steelix with this Probopass. He comes in with the Gliscor, in comes the opposing Golbat. So Golbat's Shadow Ball is going to hit Gliscor pretty hard. In order to win this matchup, Pocket really needs to call the bluff right, and all he can really do is keep on firing off those Night Slashes to try to chip down the Golbat. You definitely don't want to throw an Earthquake here against the Golbat because it won't do that much damage, being a flying type. He does fire off the Night Slash here against Golbat, bringing it deep into the red, and then here Pocket is actually going to expend his second shield. He is betting the entire match on this pivot game right here. If this is a Shadow Ball, he is done, but it's just a Poison Fang, which is really great. He's able to wing attack down that Golbat, and then he's got some energy ready. In comes the Charizard, and he goes straight for the Night Slash. This move is going to get shielded. So now that his opponent is out of shields and he has basically reset this game, he's going to bring in a Probopass and then bring in his Machamp to face off against Steelix. So this game looks like it's pretty clear cut, but there's another scare here in just a moment. This Steelix is actually able to get to a charge move, which is Earthquake. Down goes Machamp, in comes Probopass. If Steelix gets to another Earthquake, it's over. Let's see what this move is. It is a crunch, only 4 Dragon Tails, so it was a crunch. In comes a Charizard, and he wins charge move priority, so he fires off the Rock Slide to bring down Zard and take that game. In Game 3 against Silent Raven, we see a Probopass lead into Gligar. So this strategy here is to fire off some Rock Throws, get some energy together, and then try to catch this dig with the Gliscor, but it doesn't quite work out that way. His opponent does call the bluff and doesn't fire off the charge move until Gliscor comes in and then fires off a Night Slash. Pocket is going to get a Night Slash of his own, and it will get shielded, which is good that he took a shield away from his opponent already. In comes that Golbat, just like we saw in round 2, but this matchup is different because that Gliscor has significantly less health. It's not going to be able to really chip down at this Golbat at the same pace as it was before. Golbat's going to fire off a charge move here. It will be Poison Fang, which is going to bring Gliscor pretty weak. A couple of wing attacks will take it down. Now at this point, Pocket can come in here with his Probopass and not really have to shield anything from Golbat. A Shadow Ball is not a huge deal. In comes the Steelix though, the hard counter. Out comes the hard counter, and here comes the Gligar again. So his opponent has effectively swapped this matchup into a bad place for Pocket. He is going to try to bluff here with the Cross Chop, and he does earn his opponent's last shield, which is good. But as you can tell, trainers, those wing attacks are really beating down on this Machamp. His opponent does get to a charge move here, and this will effectively put an end to Machamp. The question is, can his Probopass take on that Steelix in the back? Here comes another charge move, which is another Night Slash. Again, just trying to chip down this Probopass, and Pocket still has 2 shields, so this is still a very interesting game. He does fire off the Magnet Bomb here against Steelix, and he does have the energy lead, but I think it's going to be too little too late. This Steelix is so bulky, and it's going to continue to get to charge moves pretty quickly. He does fire off the crunch here, which does get shielded. Pocket is fighting for his life, but another crunch comes, and that was really fast. This Steelix only needs a few more Dragon Tails to get to another charge move. Here comes another Magnet Bomb from Pocket. A very cool kind of bow tie zigzag motion there. And then here comes one more crunch from Steelix, and this will wrap up Game 3 against Silent Raven. Pocket's final opponent is Brink. Brink is bringing Charizard, Clefable, Haunter, Machamp, Probopass, and Rhyperior. So a very balanced team. We see the Charizard, one Charmer being Clefable, Haunter, the most aggressive ghost type in the game. We also see Machamp. We do have Probopass, and then Rhyperior in the back. The 2 biggest questions for me here are, is Probopass running Spark or Rock Throw, and is Rhyperior running Mud Slap or Smackdown? Trainers, if you were running Rhyperior with Smackdown, you were doing 28 damage per turn to Charizard. Every time you throw a fast move, you can delete Charizard in only 4 or 5 attacks. So it's very, very interesting, and Rhyperior does have good play against Sunny CASTFORM as well. These matches are really fun, so let's get right into them. In Game 1, Pocket does call the lead perfectly with Probopass into Clefable. In comes that Machamp, and that Machamp was able to generate a few counters worth of energy, so the Rock Slides are going to come flying. This is the championship round, and this opponent is no joke. Brink is coming with the fire. He is going to fire off another charge move here against Gliscor, and Pocket still wanting to win that swapped in match, even if he has to give up a shield so that he can get swap advantage halfway through the game, which he's been doing all day long, and it's worked out pretty well for him so far. He does fire off a Night Slash against Rhyperior, and as you can see there, he is running Mud Slap. This is a Mud Slap Rhyperior, not going to be that big of a threat to flying types as it would be with Smackdown. In comes Grand Bull here against the Rhyperior, and this is one of the drawbacks of Rhyperior. Even though it's such a great Pokemon in the Great League, it is still very squishy because it just hasn't hasn't filled out the incredibly high CP that it can max out at. So here we see Probopass going up against Clefable. Pocket is out of shields. A Meteor Mash is going to bring down that Probopass, and he does have his Granbull here, but this is looking very grim, trainers. This is a Snarl Granbull, so he's going to get to his moves quickly. However, those charms are just chunking away at this fairy type. That is the one downside of running a Snarl Granbull. Wasting no time in game 2, he wins the lead again. Probopass into Haunter. Out comes that safe swap Machamp, but this time Pocket has Wiggles. Wiggles' charm is going to wear down this Machamp extremely fast. He's actually going to allow the Rock Slide through because he doesn't want to leave much of Wigglytuff to get farmed. In comes a Probopass here, and this Probopass is running Spark, so it's going to get to its charge moves very quickly. Both trainers encounter some lag there, but Pocket is going to go here for the play rough. It does take a little chunk of that Probopass, but it has tons of energy, trainers. In comes Gliscor, and this match is so crazy. I don't think of Gliscor as a very great hard counter, and this Probopass is going to put a ton of pressure on it. Pocket really needs to land an Earthquake if he's going to have any chance at winning this. He does go straight for the bait here with the Night Slash, and it does get that first shield, which is really, really great. He really needs to win this matchup, so Pocket is going to double shield Gliscor. His opponent switches into Haunter, which is not a good look. The Night Slash is going to be super effective. He brings down the Haunter. There's only one shield each, but he brings in his own Probopass, and even though it does have the inferior energy generating fast move, because of this health disparity, I think Pocket has locked this game up. He does take that Magnet Bomb here. He needs one more Magnet Bomb to seal the deal, but his opposing Probopass gets to it first. This game is going to come right down to the wire. In comes Gliscor, and he gets to that Night Slash just in time to bring down Probopass and win game 2. Game 3, Pocket wins a lead again. Machamp into that Probopass. Out comes Charizard. He gets a couple of counters worth of extra energy and then brings in his own Probopass. So recognizing Probopass's role on this team, he needs it to bring down the Charizard, and that's exactly what he did with it. He did not give it any shields. In comes the opposing Probopass, and he's going to go here for the Magnet Bomb. Again, any damage you can get in this Probopass mirror match in this situation is kind of like bonus damage. You just want to get a little bit of hurt in on this thing so that you can farm down comfortably and don't have to worry about getting hit by a charge move. He does bring in his Machamp here, and it looks like Sunny CASTFORM is in the back. That attack did a ton of damage to that Probopass, and here his opponent's going to think things over. Out comes Clefable, and this is still anybody's game. He's going to fire off the Weather Ball here to try to draw a shield from his opponent, which he does get. Clefable staying in here with the charms, and these two bulky Pokemon are barely chipping away at each other. Here comes a charge move from Clefable, which will be the Meteor Mash, taking Pocket's first shield. Here comes a Weather Ball from the Sunny CASTFORM, again taking his opponent's second shield. So this is really a race, and Sunny CASTFORM is going to outpace Clefable to the next charge move, taking down Clefable with Weather Ball, and that is GG's. Such a fun tournament to cover, such an awesome trainer to watch. Battlers, if you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up for the safe swap into the Sunny CASTFORM. Leave a thumbs up for maintaining switch priority in key situations. Leave a thumbs up for the double fairy type team. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment down below what you thought, and subscribe for more Rose Cup and Go Battle League videos.